theory of Ayurveda. Remember, you have three different over there. One is the irrigation theory. One, remember? You have the seed, I forget what they're called. Yeah, Kul Kedari, and another one. The milk and curd theory. So the milk and curd theory is what you're talking about. Once, see, the human being is a metamorphic being. They metamorphose, okay? The butterfly metamorphoses on the planet. The butterfly flies and reacts to the rays and the frequency of light, and it is moving through that. It's a radiant entity that moves through light, okay? And human being, once it's a caterpillar and then it turns into a butterfly, it never goes back to being a caterpillar. Okay, it metamorphoses. We say we got to change, we got to change. When you change, you can change back. If you just change, you change your clothes, you can wear the same clothes again. But when you transform, when you metamorphose, then that doesn't happen. Then you keep moving on. Your consciousness is awakened. So if you notice, when you were 16 years old or 12 years old or whenever, however old you were when you had your first date, okay, versus now. You just can't be that innocent now. You can't go back. You can be innocent about other things, but you can't be innocent in that area. You know, so you have to keep moving forward. So there is a part where one dhatu, and remember dhatus are related to your own inner being, and you change from one dhatu to the other. But there's a level, sorry, there's a whole other level to it, which I will get to in a minute. So you eat, and the food you eat then mixes with all your juices, goes through your digestive tract, goes to the liver, and then from the liver it is sent to the heart. And it is what rasa? What kind of rasa? What is that rasa called? Ahara rasa. Ahara means food. Ahara rasa. Okay? It's ahara rasa. Now this rasa is flowing through the body, and you haven't learned this, but I'll just tell you, you don't have to learn the names and all of that. But it basically goes through a membrane. In this membrane are enzymes, is a fire. And it goes and it cooks, and now it becomes rasa dhatu. Okay? And whatever is not used, this is a stable rasa. It's unstable before, it is stable. What do you mean by stable? If I take clay, mix it with water, and I make a little dough out of it, and I put it on my wheel, and I make a pot out of it. Okay? Because, why? Because I want it to hold water. I take that pot that I have made, and I dip it into the river to get some water. Will it hold it? What will happen to it?
It'll disintegrate.
It'll disintegrate, right? Why? What will I have to do so that it doesn't disintegrate?
It has to bind together. Cook.
I have to cook it. I have to fire it. Once I fire it, it becomes stable. Right? And depending on how strong of a fire I apply to it, it's going to become either a ceramic pot or a stoneware or it can become very hard and brittle and be porcelain, right? Like our bones, like our teeth. So it depends on how it is fired and what ingredients are used. So similarly, you have this goes through, when it goes through a fire, now it's not just, now it's becoming a part of you, the ingredients that are becoming stable in the plasma, things that are now circulating through the body through enzymes. These are really enzymes. We call it Agni, fire. I'm drawing a fire, but they're really enzymes. And what do enzymes do? They kind of fit on the structure of the material, and they'll break it into smaller pieces. Then it fits and into, so specific enzymes will fit in certain ways around specific foods. But if you have preservatives and things that they can't fit around, then those things just attach and they add on and they start to ferment and stagnate and become toxic, and then they're incomplete molecules or distorted molecules that now create distorted tissues. So you have this rasa, and things that are not used in rasa just go on because they might be picked up by another dhatu. Then it goes through another fire. I hope that looks like a fire or a flower. It goes through another fire. It is cooked some more, okay? And now it turns into what? Rakta, blood. And then then it goes through another fire. And that is now turns into mamsa, etc. So 7 dhatus. So you have plasma, blood, muscle, fat, bone, cerebrospinal fluid and bone marrow, and the reproductive system. So this yen is what you were talking about, okay, where it turns one into the other, the milk to the curd, and eventually butter, and eventually ghee. And ghee is related to ojas, okay? So that's the law. But then there's the other part where there are some ingredients that, this is the stable form of rasa, but the unstable form, also continues, and it could have ingredients that are picked up over here by the bone, you know? As well as we're journeying over here, yeah, to bone. So this is like the other one where the pigeon goes and picks up the seeds that it wants. Why? Because there are certain, you know, you get these coin sieves. Have you seen these big coin sieves where you put in the nickels and the pennies, and all the pennies will go through it, right? Because it's got the fittings of the penny. Another one, sift it and all the nickels will go through, or the quarters will go through. Why? Because those are the sizes. Similarly, there are certain things, ingredients that these will pick, that these don't need. So all